I love starting it like that. Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Theme Park. Episode 107. We're going to finish off this Firehouse today. I've had an idea about the timer. We're going to have a play around with that concept today. I haven't added anything else. I said I wouldn't, so we're going to be doing the interior today, the exterior, and a little bit of the redstone timing. Well, the entire thing. But I think I've got... Whoops, I hit my mic. I'm sorry. I think I've got a pretty simple design for this. Okay, so it consists of a T flip-flop that starts off this. Okay, so when you hit the button, not only does it start the fire, but it's also going to start the timer. And then when you come out, I shall have maybe another button to stop the timer. We'll figure that out in a minute, but let's just do the raw timer for the moment. So we're going to need a dropper, not a dispenser. Make sure this is a dropper. And then you're going to have another dropper facing back into it again. So they're facing into each other. Now we're going to have a comparator, followed by a repeater, followed by redstone that wraps around. We'll hide this up, don't worry. And then we'll just have a block here and a piece of redstone there to power it. Now, if we put anything in here, I've got some emerald blocks to show you. As you can see, it's ticking out. And whenever there's blocks in here, it'll tick these out. And it'll throw them into this one. Okay. Now, let's take everything out of here. Boop. Boop. The next part that we can have is a comparator of this dropper. So it reads how many blocks are in here. And then hook it up to some lights. Now, if we have one block followed by, I think, 5 lights will probably be good for the moment. It's going to require a little bit of testing. And for now, we'll just place a load of redstone along the top. Now, when we put stuff in here, it's going to tick out. The first one that goes in here, the first block of emerald, is going to light up the first light. And then every 41 blocks of emerald will light up the second one. So once we get to 42, 40, 41, 42, we get the second light come on. And then, obviously, we would need more emerald in here. So what would it be then? 40, 83. Once we get to 83. So there's 64, 74, 84. And we get the next one on. So it'll go all the way up. So I think that's a pretty good concept for a timer. Let's stop this. Whoops, I placed redstone over there somewhere. So we'll stop that. But what we've got to do is somehow, right, if we had a T flip-flop here, if I set up a super simple one, if I do that, this is going to require a little bit of hiding, but I'll probably hide it off camera because it's not something that is really that interesting. But if I put this down and we put a piece of sand on here, like that. Oops, that's not sand. Sand on there. We've now got ourselves our very own our very own monostable circuit. Do we need a monostable circuit? Hold on a minute. No, all we need is a T flip-flop, which means we can just swap this around to this with a piston facing a normal piston, not a sticky piston, facing this way, and then any block will do, like that. That is now a T flip-flop, okay? If we hit that button. No, it's not. No, we do need a monostable circuit in it. Sorry. I'm getting a little bit confused here. I'm trying to do it in such a compact area that it's becoming a little bit tricky. Okay, monostable circuit followed by a T flip-flop here, like that. So we go like that. There we go. So there's it's on now. We could have a redstone lamp there. We could have a torch underneath it or whatever. And then when you hit it again, if that was a sticky piston, it would then bring it back, I think, right? Boop. Brought it back. Boop. Pushed it forward. Yeah, so it's just a one tick to push it forward. If we wanted to make this into a powerable one, we could put a torch below there, for example, and then put the block on top, and then whenever it goes over it, it then powers the repeater, it'll start the timer, and then when you hit the button, it will finish it off. Now, we don't want to activate it off the same button, because if we finished it by pressing this button, we're just setting the whole house on fire again, and that's obviously going to cause problems. So we'll probably have a different button to turn it off, which is very, very simple. We could even have it straight off here. In fact, just for the moment, we'll do this with a button there, so that'll finish it off. So you start it and then you finish it, okay, and that'll stop the timer. So this repeater right now is powered once the block's over it. We now need to make this trigger putting stuff into this dropper here. Now, how are we going to do that? This is something that I am a little bit confused on. Maybe if we had a hopper on top. This might slow the timer down a little bit, so we might have to try something a little bit different here. And then if we put a chest on top of this, just a normal one should do. Chest on top of there. And if we put items in here, it'll instantly just drop them straight down into that dropper. So we need to lock this hopper, and we can do that by placing down a torch into it. Now, did that fire that? I heard, yeah, that must have fired that. If I put stuff in here, that doesn't come out now because this hopper has a redstone input, therefore it won't allow anything through. But if we have this repeater, then turn off that lamp, that torch. So if we had something like this, I know it's messy, but I can hide this up somewhere, I'm sure. So then when we hit the button, boop, we hit go, it lights it all, it then turns that off. Things should start dropping through, but we are powering. We're powering it from somewhere. There, that was the problem block. So I need to move that over by one, or move the torch, switch the torch over. I can switch the torch over, that'll be easier. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop playing around. Yeah, that's good. Okay, put this grass back here. And then move this to there. Move that to there. Put that on there. And then put it back. So now it's off. We turn it on. It hits that. It starts the clock. Starts the timer going. And then we turn the off button. Hit that. And how are we going to stop it from coming through now? Because, oh yeah, well that just ended. This stop button, oh, that piston got stuck up. Man, I hate doing things in such a small area. It makes it so tricky. If I put that there, nope, that still isn't going to work. For now, I'll do this and that. Stop being so annoying. There, and there. Wonderful. So then that locks there. That will eventually then lock it again, I think, right? We're still not done because we then need to get everything from here back into that one. But that's a simple one to do. Hold on a minute. So we need to just switch that. Okay, so it's off. That's locked. We put this in here. This is complicated, I know. But for those of you that are interested in redstone, you might learn something new. Okay, we turn it on. It starts ticking away. The timer starts going up. They're dropping in, but instantly going out. We then hit the stop button, and it stopped the timer. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got the basic premise of it. The only thing that we now need to do is get the stuff from this dropper actually back into that chest, don't we? So if we turn this to face upward, this is so tricky, and then have another dropper on top of it. And then we had a hopper going back into there. All I need to do is fire this one, which should also fire that one if we do it correctly. If I have a... This is the most compact redstone you'll ever see. We'll have that, a repeater, a block with a piece of redstone on top. We don't want it joining up to there, so we'll block that off. We'll have this one. Redstone needs to go on top of there, but we can't have it join up to this one. Shoot, let's come this way then. I can't get it quite as compact as I want. This is only the rough version. This will all be hidden up eventually. But all I need to do is activate this dropper. And how am I going to do that even? If I had a block there with a piece of redstone on it, have this running over the top, have this along here, block that signal off with that, and now hopefully anything that goes in there will automatically be dispensed. Oh no, I haven't got it on a clock, have I? This is a bit tricky. I'm going to have to think about this a little bit more. Give me a couple of seconds, guys. Okay, I have figured it out. I'm not going to do it this episode. I'll do it off camera, though. I need more room. That's the main problem. In short, for those of you that are interested, before we jump into the interior here, I need to have another clock off this one, but we don't want it to be activated straight away, because otherwise all the blocks that go into here instantly get shot out and put back into the chest, and it goes in its own loop, and these lights will never end up turning on. So what we need to do is it needs to wait until we hit the stop button. We can then have a piston push a block in front of the clock to then activate it, which will then reset them all out by itself. We just don't have the room here, because if I had the clock exactly the same as what we've got here, but in reverse on this side, it's also going to activate this one, which may or may not be a problem. I didn't look at it too much, because I just need more room. But once we've got that in, the off switch will then power this dropper, which will then put into that dropper, which we can fire at the same time. That's easy enough to do. We done this on Aliencraft not so long back, did we? No, only a few episodes ago. And then as soon as it goes into this hopper, it'll automatically just drop them straight back into the chest. And when it's off, it will also have this hopper locked, so they won't drop back out. It sounds really complicated. I know it does. I do apologize. I'm sorry that I can't get it all done in this episode. Redstone can just be a little bit tricky on camera. Off camera, you've got all the time in the world. But when you're on camera, you really don't want to end up boring people with it, because I know a lot of you aren't really that interested in the redstone. For those of you who are interested, I'll get it done by next episode, I hope, and then next episode we can test it out and play it. That's what I'm planning to anyway. We can play it now, but there's just no reset on it. That's the only thing. So it is fully playable, just not resettable at the moment. Okay, so we can have that there. That there. This one, I noticed we got to have this piece of redstone moved. So if I take... Oh, shoot. I need to take that away. And then put that there. That finishes the staircase off. But now these ones aren't activated. We'll switch that to there. Have a redstone loop come around the side here. Make sure you put a repeater next to any dispensers. Otherwise we get the redstone lock on. And then that can join up to there. Okay, redstone's all finished. Upstairs should be quite simple. We've only got a couple of bedrooms to do. So we'll put down a floor in here. Doop, 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 doop. It's nicely out of the way of the redstone. It's also tricky. The redstone outside for that timer is going to be particularly tricky, because this world was made before we had the option to have custom super flat worlds. This is just an ordinary super flat world, meaning that it's only 3 blocks deep. Therefore, very difficult to hide redstone, obviously. It's extremely difficult to hide redstone at the best of times, let alone when you've got only 3 blocks to do it in. But I should be able to come up with something, even if we hide the redstone in a shed or something in the garden, anything that has to be above ground purely because we can't fit it in otherwise. I can always hide up in a shed and show you it afterwards. But these bedrooms shouldn't take too long for us to do. I mean, it's just a couple of beds. I think I'm going to have one of these little rooms off the bedrooms as a ensuite bathroom. And then the other one I'm going to have as a study. And I think that's what I've decided. So, toilet. Very simple. We done this last episode, but for those of you that missed it, I at least, always do my toilets like this. We have anvil for the plumbing. We have the flush on top, an upside down stair, as the actual toilet, and then a trapdoor on top as the seat. Upstairs, I can fit a bath in upstairs here. Perfect, because we didn't have one downstairs. So I'm going to do a nice little simple bath like that. If we do those for the taps, we can also do something pretty swanky with these. I can put a item frame behind it, and then have a hot tap and a cold tap in there. I said it the wrong way around. Hot tap and a cold tap. They just look pretty nice as a nice little addition. And then we can fit a little sink in the corner. I always like to use cauldrons. I don't know why. It's just something I like to do. Shift on there. And then you can put down a cupboard on it. Boop. There we go. Bathroom done. Bedroom in here. We can fit a bed in this way between the fires. I'm going to go for the traditional red and white bed, just so everybody knows what it's exactly meant to be. It's just going to be a bigger one than the default one. There we go. Looks like a Minecraft bed. We can have a couple of bookshelves in the corner here. I'm going to do it like this. Wonderful. Oh yeah, I've got this ceiling to do as well. That doesn't take too long. That doesn't take 2 seconds, in fact. I could put a little bedside cabinet here. I always like doing my bedside cabinets with a pressure plate. So we'll have a nice wooden pressure plate on there. There's a nice little woodside cabinet. And then we also, obviously, we want a, what do you call them, a wardrobe. So we'll have a nice wardrobe in like that. I can also have a smaller one maybe, like this. It's not too much in the way of the door. There we go. That's not too much in the way of the window. I'm pleased with that as a bedroom. And then we'll pick some item frames. A nice 2 wide one would be nice. Whoops. There we go. Perfect. Any space in the bathroom? Yeah, there's a little space in the bathroom. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. On this side, we shall do a different coloured bed. In fact, we're going to do 2 singles because there's fire in the middle there. So we shall have a white wool one. And we shall have maybe a yellow bed and a purple bed, I think. So we'll have one bed there, like that. We could have 2 double beds, in fact. If we done this one a yellow one, and this one the purple one. Yeah, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. And then we'll have a birch cabinet in this one, but we'll do it slightly different so they don't all look exactly the same. We shall do this one a little bit of a wider one. Oops. There we go. That looks a little bit different, doesn't it? And then we'll get a couple of nice bedside cabinets in here. Or bedside tables, sorry. Oh, just one we can fit in. I thought I had a space on that side. And maybe a plant in here as well would look nice. It is quite funny because there's no lighting in here. The only lighting in this building are the fires. Which means when you start putting the fires out, it gets darker and more difficult, and I really like the sound of that. In here, I'm going to have like a little YouTube recording office, I think. So we're going to have a nice little corner table like what I have in real life. Whoops. Nice little corner one. My one's made of glass. This one's made of wood. We can put a little laptop on here as well, maybe with a pressure plate and a paint and a small painting as a little laptop there. We also need a little chair. We'll do a spruce chair, a birch chair, sorry. Just so it looks a little bit different. And then some bookshelves for where all your consoles and hard drives and stuff are. That pink doesn't need to be there. Maybe one underneath there. Oh, that's a pretty cool shape, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. And we shall have... I like the red... Oops. I like the red mushrooms in plant pots. So we'll have one there. Beautiful. There's upstairs done as well. We'll just very, very quickly put down a ceiling in here now. I can put it on this level here. Splash potion. And then we'll give it a test. Now, I know the timer isn't fully completed, but we will at least be able to tell if our timer is long enough or too short. If the timer is isn't quick enough, then we have a bit of a problem because we cannot speed up. You can't speed up the comparator. That was on the fastest that it could possibly be. You can't make it go any faster. So if that's not fast enough, we're going to have to just come up with a different timer design. There are plenty of different timers that I can build. If it isn't if it isn't quick enough. I've got a feeling that we should be okay. We could also add more fires. The more fires that you have, the longer it will take to put them all out. But I hope that we've got it on a decent amount of time. So I need to come down here before I put the last two, otherwise I'm stuck in the loft. And the house is complete. So let's just go round and put all of these out. So we have a fair playing field when we hit the start button. We also need to make sure that our timer is ready to go. We've got stuff in them, so at least we get some sort of idea. I'm trying not to rush because I don't want to break items that I'm not meant to. We'll go obviously into survival very, very quickly to be able to do this, so I don't end up punching a chair or something like that and breaking it. So I'm just being a little bit careful at the moment. It's really cool how we've managed to fit all of the furniture around fires. That's really cool. I really like that. And then the last little room here. Okay, wonderful. Let's go not into survival yet, because we need to make sure that the timer is all ready to go. We need to have... I've got 2 stacks in there. We're going to need a little bit more than that. We might as well just fill it up. We're not going to go any longer than that. I hope. We'll take that out. We'll put that in there. Now, we should all be ready to go. If we hit the button, it will start going. Let's cover up this floor for the moment. Just like that. Okay, now, survival mode. If I go here, I can go into survival mode. Hit the button, and it should start ticking away. Yeah, I saw that first light on. Just double check. So, I think the fastest way is to come around this way. Around... Ow. Not setting yourself on fire. Around the garage. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. If I wasn't on fire, I'd be able to sprint a lot faster. And then we go into this room. And then I'm going to do the conservatory. Ow. Careful now. And then the little bathroom. And then we're going to go back round and run upstairs. Quick, sprint jump, sprint jump, sprint jump. Hup. Upstairs. And I'm going to turn right. I think right will be quicker for me, because of how my thumbs work on a controller. Around this way. Like this. Like this, like this, like this. And we can stop the timer by hitting the stop button that we currently have as a prototype one. We hit the stop button. Ah, that's pretty good. So that is actually really accurate. How close were we? Now, if it's every 42 that it goes up one, so that's 128. That's like 3. Obviously, it's 4 lights. How long would it have taken if I hit play again? How long did I have left until all of the lights turned on, which is like the game over? How long did we have? It shouldn't take too long. There we go. So I was pretty close to being on the maximum. Oh yeah, and it didn't set fire to everything because I hit the stop button again. Oh cool. I don't have to go around and put them all out. We could add more lights. It is obviously as simple as... Oh, I'm in survival. It's obviously as simple as just adding more lights. You could have anything up to 14 lights, in fact, because obviously redstone can only go 15 blocks before it runs out. I think you'd go for 15. Maybe if all of these were full, you would have 15 lights on. I don't know exactly the maths. Obviously, you can test out and find out. We can even test out now if you like. If I fill up all of these... So they're absolutely 100% full. We can see exactly how far, how many lights you can potentially have. There you go. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can have 15 lights on before the redstone actually dies. Well, to be honest, it is 14. I was right with 14. This redstone isn't actually on. Look, it's not glowing. I can take that redstone away. It's just that this one is being powered by this one here. The power sort of jumps through it. So technically you could have 14 lights because the last one, or the first one comes on because of just one item being in it. So yeah, I hope you learned something today. I'm sorry that we couldn't get it 100% completed. I know we've got a bit of the exterior to do as well. But until I hide this redstone up, we can't do the exterior anyway. So I'll probably do the rest of this little mini game. Not that there's a lot of it left, but I'll do it off camera. And then hopefully if I get it done by next episode, I can show you it next episode. And we can move on to something else. We've now spent 3 episodes here. I don't want to spend any more because it just is going to end up boring you guys. And I don't want you to lose focus on the rest of the theme park. If you guys did enjoy this episode, though, hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode where we'll be starting a new project. And I have one in mind. Bye! Oh, I hiccuped when I said bye. Bye!